Meta, the parent company of Facebook, is facing a massive Federal Trade Commission lawsuit that is actually going to trial this coming April over Facebook's alleged monopolistic activities and, of course, their merger with Instagram. Now, that's not the story that I'm here to talk to you about. However, that is a great way to explain literally every decision that Mark Zuckerberg is making right now. A week ago, Mark Zuckerberg hired a man by the name of Joel Kaplan, who happens to be a former deputy chief of staff for George W. Bush. He's a big MAGA guy. Hired Joel Kaplan to be the new director of public policy for Meta. And earlier this week, Zuckerberg also announced that Donald Trump ally Dana White from the UFC is now just going to be on Facebook's board of directors, right? Because why not? Let's kiss Donald Trump's ass a little bit more. And Zuckerberg himself also gave $1 million to Donald Trump's inauguration. And then after all of that, Joel Kaplan went on Fox and Friends early Tuesday morning at the start of the show to announce that Facebook has decided we are no longer going to fact-check posts. We are getting rid of our group of independent contractors who do the fact-checking, and instead we're moving to a system of community notes, which of course is what Twitter moved to after Elon Musk bought it, because they didn't want to fact-check anybody. They didn't want to upset conservatives. And then shortly after Kaplan announced this on Fox and Friends, Zuckerberg released his video and posts on social media announcing all the changes they were making. But of course, the biggest one is no more fact-checking. And the few people we do employ in that area, we're moving them from California to Texas because he says that the folks in California are just a little too biased. Because as we all know, when you're looking to go somewhere without any political bias, of course you go to Texas, right? No, Texas is where you go to avoid regulations. Texas is where you go to avoid any kind of legal issues because they have the most corporate-friendly courts in the country because Governor Greg Abbott, of course, set up a separate court system for corporations run by people from corporations. There's no secret about why this is happening. No more fact-checking because we're trying to kiss Donald Trump's ass, and of course, he and other conservatives are the ones who get fact-checked the most because they lie the most. You may not want to hear that truth, but it's the truth nevertheless. So, that's part of it. But why even bother kissing up to those people? Well, it goes back to the point I made at the beginning. Facebook is facing a massive FTC lawsuit in April. And if they lose that lawsuit, they lose a lot of money. But we got a new administration coming in, a new FTC, a new DOJ. Maybe if we play nice, maybe that lawsuit goes away. That is what this is about. That is why this is happening. Facebook needs a favor from the government, so they are essentially bowing down to the incoming government to try to get that favor granted. Now, I will say, as horrible as this decision is, there was one silver lining inside of it. Because Zuckerberg also said that Facebook was going to lift the content restrictions on any content involving civics, which includes politics. Here's why that matters. Starting last January, Facebook did implement a policy where they were no longer promoting any civic content, which meant that, YouTube channels like ours, because we also cross-post on Facebook, David Pakman, Sam Cedar, Ben Dixon, everybody, all of our content, and folks on the right as well, was no longer being pushed to new people. And it was no longer being pushed to the people who actually subscribe to our Facebook pages. So a lot of these channels, ours included, we took a significant hit, but some of these people were making, $40,000 to $50,000 per month off of their videos on Facebook. This is how a lot of them were making their livelihoods, making their living. And that number dropped from, 30 or 40 down to 5. So a lot of people got screwed. And hopefully this part of the decision from Zuckerberg helps those people to build back and be able to do this, permanently. So that is the only good thing about this decision. The decision to move to community notes instead of fact checking, that's stupid, but that was done to appease Trump because Zuckerberg wants that FTC lawsuit to go away. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.